Hi, I'm Adrian Hargreaves and welcome to another Hargreaves Sales Enablement mini webinar. Today's guest speaker is Laura Patterson. Laura is the founder of Texas-based Vision Edge Marketing and is a trusted authority on marketing effectiveness and proving marketing's value. Laura has over 6,000 followers on LinkedIn. Welcome to the webinar, Laura.
Thank you, Adrian. I'm very excited to be here and looking forward to our conversation.
Fantastic. Well, Laura, the title of our webinar is The Winning Combination for Sales and Marketing Alignment. So there are perhaps two questions. Firstly, what is sales and marketing alignment? And secondly, what types of outcomes do you suggest focusing on?
That's a really great question. Both of those are. And I think it is important to be clear about what we mean by sales and marketing alignment. And I always like to tell people that both functions exist to help the organizations they're in create, find, keep, and grow the value of customers. And that's kind of a little bit different orientation than what a lot of people potentially think about. So what I would like to maybe use as a metaphor, probably something you're familiar with in the UK, which is rowing. If you've ever been in a rowboat, particularly one like that you see with the 8-person cruise, one of the things you ought to know about the boat or the shell is it's inherently unstable. And keeping it afloat isn't very easy. And in order for people to be successful, particularly in a race, everyone has to be working together with exact timing and equal pressure, right? And I think it's a great metaphor for marketing and sales. They have to be working together with exact timing and equal pressure. The other thing about being in the boat is you have to work together with a clear direction in mind. Otherwise, you'll just go willy-nilly all over the water, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is what I think it means for marketing and sales to be aligned. It means to be in balance, pulling together, and it's a balance in power. It's not one more powerful than the other, because if you do that, your boat's going to go kind of rickety, and it will tip. So it's really about balanced power.
Fantastic. That's really interesting, Laura. It's like with a lot of marketing definitions, isn't it? It means different things to different people. You know, to some, marketing alignment simply means sales and marketing being on the same page and actually getting on together. You're drilling down a lot deeper, aren't you?
Yes, and I think what's important is to think about the direction, because if you know the direction that you're going in, then that will help with the alignment. So we're finding in the work that we're doing today, and you can see in this growth chart, that every organization that we are working with today, the mandate is to grow. And we need to remember where growth comes from. I think you'd probably agree that if we don't have customers, we don't have a business. And therefore, to grow, we need to know which customers, what they need, how to best service this need, and how to achieve a sustainable competitive advantage. And that's where marketing and sales need to align, not to each other. So I think that's sometimes where the mistake is. It's not about them aligning to each other, remember, in the boat, but it's about what the organization is going to do to create, find, keep, and grow the value of customers. And that's what they align to.
Sure.
And so I guess, you know, you've probably heard this, Adrian, people talking a little bit about the goal is on revenue, right?
Yes,
it's all about revenue.
It's usually revenue.
Well, it is all about revenue. I mean, if you're a company in a capitalistic economy, revenue is a financial target. But what I like to say, and you probably know that old saying, the devil's in the details. For marketing to really align, they need to know which customers, which markets, where they want to buy it, what they're going to buy, how they're going to buy it, and how we will know they're ready to buy. So it's not really just about aiming to revenue. It's really about those very specific things so that we can grow, whether that's grow our market share or the number of our customers or our share of wallet or customer lifetime value or product adoption or category ownership. See, all of those things in one way or another affect revenue, but they give us better clarity around direction. So one of the things that I like to say is that in order to answer these kinds of questions, you really need to know what are the quantifiable business outcomes that everyone on the team is going to work toward, because that's how they mobilize. Remember, back into the boat, they all need to know where they're going and be able to operate as a high-performing crew. And if they understand the quantifiable business outcomes, then alignment becomes easier. And not only does alignment come easier, but accountability. And you probably know this, Adrian, but since 2001, we have been doing a marketing performance measurement and management benchmark study. And we have learned over the last 17 years that alignment and accountability are statistically significant in being able to ascertain and determine which marketing organizations are going to excel and support the organization's success. So if you the key is to start with the same outcomes, to align around the same outcomes. That's what we have found contributes best to both sales and marketing being able to move the needle.
That's perfect. And those tips are really great. Thank you so much, Laura. By focusing on the outcomes, Laura, you've started it, with the end in mind, as famous Stephen Covey would put it. So let me summarize everything into 2 takeaways for our audience. Takeaway number 1 is, to achieve alignment, start with customer-centric, quantifiable business outcomes. And takeaway 2 is, select metrics and measures that directly link the work and investments of both sales and marketing to the outcomes. Is that right, Laura?
Yes, and I really want to emphasize that last point that you're making. The key is for both sales and marketing to have measures and metrics that directly link their work to those outcomes. So that will be kind of a shift probably for many of your listeners.
It appears this is a specialist area of work for you at Vision Edge Marketing. Is that right?
Yes, this is what we do. This is our passion, is to help companies use marketing in order to accelerate their growth, create more customer value, and improve performance. And we would love for people who are interested in learning more to come visit us. We have lots and lots of resources on our website at visionedgemarketing.com that are free. And I'm always happy to hear from folks. They can reach out to me on LinkedIn or by email.
Fantastic. Laura, thank you so much for sharing your expertise today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Adrian.
You're very welcome. And thank you to our audience for giving up your time as well. We hope you got some value out of it. I'm Adrian Hargreaves, and so until the next Hargreaves Sales Enablement mini webinar, it's bye from me.